She always woke up trembling. Every night, it was the same voice, deep, tender, and aching with emotion. Adibeo, imofai misalo. She didn't know what it meant, yet it tore through her chest like something familiar. Amora sat up in bed, her pillow damp with sweat. The walls of her dorm room were quiet, except for the rhythmic hum of the ceiling fan. Her roommates were fast asleep. But inside her head, the drums never stopped. Yoruba drums. Ancient, distant, and somehow, calling her name. She whispered to herself, "Why do I keep hearing this? I don't even speak Yoruba." But she did. At least, in her dreams. Every night, she became someone else, dressed in flowing beads, walking through a glowing village bathed in firelight. A river ran beside her, whispering secrets she couldn't remember when she woke up. And always, there was that voice, the boy who called her Aden. The first time it happened in real life was during Yoruba class. The teacher had asked a simple question. The class was noisy, everyone giggling as usual, and then, without realizing it, Amora answered. Her words came out sharp, perfect, fluent Yoruba. The teacher's struck froze midair. Amora, his brows knotted. "I thought you said you don't speak Yoruba." The class went silent. Her best friend Temi blinked. "You just said a full Yoruba sentence, babe." "Like, how?" Amora's throat went dry. She didn't even remember speaking. That was the day whispers began. The new rumor around school was that Amora spoke Yoruba in her dreams. Some called her gifted. Others, cursed. Someone even joked, she's probably a Yoruba princess in her past life. But late at night, when everyone was asleep, Amora would sit by her window, holding her journal filled with scribbles she didn't understand, strange symbols, names, and the same phrase over and over again. The river remembers us. One morning, a new student arrived, turned. Tall, calm, and quiet, with eyes that seemed to see through people. The first time Amora saw him, her heart jumped. She didn't know why. But somewhere deep inside, her spirit recognized something her mind could not. During a group study, she tried to focus, but her pen slipped, and before she knew it, she had written the same Yoruba words again. The others laughed, teasing her, but Tom leaned closer and said softly, "You just wrote." The river remembers us. Amora froze. That was exactly what she heard in her dreams. Her voice quivered. You understand Yoruba?" "Yes," he said quietly. "And I think I understand you." For days, they avoided each other, but the air between them was heavy, like two magnets that refused to stay apart. Eventually, they began to talk. About little things at first, classes, Lagos traffic, and boarding school gossip. But somehow, every conversation drifted toward dreams. When Amora finally told him what she'd been seeing, Ton didn't laugh. He just looked at her with sad, knowing eyes. "I've seen it too," he whispered. Amora's chest tightened. "You've seen what?" He hesitated. "A girl named Aden. A princess by the river. Every night, I try to reach her, but I always wake up before she turns around." Her hand trembled. She could barely speak. "Aden, that's what he calls me in my dreams." It felt like the air shifted. Like the world had just remembered something it wasn't supposed to. Over the next weeks, they pieced it together, two halves of one story. In her dreams, she was Aden, daughter of a royal house in the old Oyo Empire. In his dreams, he was Adibeo, her protector, sworn to guard her even against his own people. They had fallen in love in secret, under the moon, beside the same river that haunted her sleep. But their love had sparked war. Betrayal tore them apart. And before dying, Aden had been cursed by a jealous priestess. "You will forget him in every life," until the river remembers your names. Ton and Amora began to dream together now, the same dream, the same night. Every detail grew sharper, the flames, the vows, the heartbreak. But the more they remembered, the more dangerous it became. Amora started fainting in class. Waking up hours later with words written on her palms, Yoruba verses she didn't know the meaning of. Her mother came to school, terrified. This started after your naming ceremony, she confessed quietly. The prophet said you carry two souls in one body. Ton's own grandmother warned him too. Some love stories were never meant to be reborn, she said. If the curse awakens fully, one of you would disappear. They tried to stay apart, but destiny doesn't listen. Every time they met, the words seemed to hum around them, the air vibrating like the echo of a forgotten song. One evening, they sat by the lagoon, the sun melting into gold on the horizon. Amora looked at him with tears in her eyes. What if we're not meant to be this time either? He smiled faintly. Then maybe love isn't about being allowed. Maybe it's about remembering. The drums started again that night. Louder. Closer. The dreams returned in full fire, betrayal, the curse breaking like thunder. Amora saw herself, Aden, running through the burning village. She saw Adebayo, fighting to reach her. He called her name through the flames. Aden. This time, she didn't run. She turned. As the fire swallowed them both, she whispered, "No more goodbyes." Light burst through the darkness, white, soft, endless. When Amora opened her eyes, she was in a hospital bed. Her mother was praying beside her. The doctor said she'd been unconscious for 3 days. Beside her pillow was a folded paper, written in Yoruba. She couldn't read it, but somehow, her heart understood. If I am reborn again, I'll find you. Our souls always remember. She pressed it to her chest, tears rolling down her cheeks. She didn't need to ask where Ton was. She already knew. A year passed. Amora went on with life, quieter now, older in spirit. She enrolled in university, choosing Yoruba literature, even though she still wasn't sure why. The first day of class, she took her seat, flipping open her notebook. And then she heard the door open. A voice said, "Good morning, everyone. I'll be your new lecturer." Amora looked up, and her heart stopped. It was him. Turned. The same calm smile. The same deep eyes. He met her gaze, held it for a heartbeat, then smiled faintly. "Shall we begin?" Her lips trembled. "Adebayo." He blinked, then whispered so only she could hear, "Aden." And for a moment, the drums returned, soft, distant, and full of peace. The river had remembered. Because love never dies. It just waits until the soul finds its way home again.